Yo, we live, we live, we live. What's going on, everybody? It's Ron Brown, LMC, the People's Fitness Professional, alongside my co-host,
Mikey Fever.
and of course, we have Grand Sheik Sharif Anil Bey, National Press Secretary, MSTA, Branch Temple, number 34.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So let's build real quick. Let's talk about it. Brother Sharif, your Wi-Fi seems a little weird. Maybe
Yeah.
more. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
We good now?
I think we're good now. I think we're good
Yeah,
now.
we good. We good.
Good now. Yeah. So how you doing, brother?
I'm not bad. We just wrapped Moorish American Remembrance Day in the city of Philadelphia. For those that don't know, Moorish American Remembrance Day is October 14th, right? October 14th, 1774 was the exact day that members of the Continental Congress met to strip our forefathers of their nationality, right? And it happened in downtown Pennsylvania at Carpenter's Hall.
Yeah, I heard of Carpenter's
Can you explain that a little bit?
Sure. So during that, there was a session of the Continental Congress, right? And it was a move, right, to provide for the perpetual existence of slavery for our people in America. And it was facilitated by the erasure of our old world national identity and quality. That was it. So when we say the nationality was stripped, this is what is meant by that.
Okay. Good evening to the chat. Good evening to the chat. So, brother Sharif Bey, now we're gonna go back into time never was when man was not. This is part 5. People seem to like that title and subject. Now, there's so many ways we can talk about time.
Absolutely.
As I study myself, I'm studying. You know what I'm studying right now.
I do. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So okay, and this is something that hit me recently, right? Just because I'm studying as well. As man unfolds, as God unfolds. You know what I mean? And so we say that man and Allah are one. Okay, but that's the beginning of the book, not the end. Right?
Right.
So now is the study of, okay, well, if man and Allah are one, I need to know more about who, Allah or me. Me. See? Now, if man and Allah are one, and we know that Allah is almighty, eternal, and incomprehensible, that means that there's a part of me that's almighty, eternal, and incomprehensible. Am I right?
Yes.
Exactly.
All right. That also means that there's a part of me that's outside of time, because time is a confine.
Right.
Because if I say I'm almighty, eternal, and incomprehensible, that means I must be outside of time. Right?
Right.
But I can't deny the fact that there's a part of me inside of time. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
There we go. You see? So that's kind of complicates things. Right?
Yeah.
All right. So follow me. Follow me, people. Let's start with this one very, very powerful fact about all of us. You have never seen your own face with your own eyes in your life. Ever. Let me say that again. You have never seen your own face with your own eyes ever in your life. You've never seen yourself. The only way you can see yourself is by way of a reflection. Am I right?
Exactly.
But what's the first thing you got to do in order to see your reflection? You gotta either obtain or create something. Am I right?
Okay.
What do you got to create? A mirror.
Right.
You got to create something that's going to provide you the means by which you could see your reflection. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Exactly.
Manifest creation is Allah's mirror. See?
Yep.
Manifest creation is Allah's mirror. Let's take it a step further. Prophet Drali teaches us that the lower self, the carnal self, the body of desires, is what? A reflection of the higher self. But distorted by the murky ethers of the flesh. So we've all seen those old school mirrors at carnivals that distort your figure and make you look other than yourself. Get it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if you see yourself as other than yourself, you act based on what you see.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what if the mirror was clean and you saw a clear, precise reflection of your higher self?
You behave in such a way.
How about that?
Yeah.
Peace
See
to the
that?
chat. Peace to the chat.
Right. Now, remember, let's go back to The Matrix, the first movie, The Matrix. When Morpheus is teaching Neo about the Matrix, what does he say about the Matrix? And this includes all the programs. It includes the agents. It includes everything. There's a body of rules that they all have to follow. All of them when they're in the Matrix. Some of the rules can be bent and others can be broken. But there's some general rules that they all got to follow. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
What is the number one rule we have to follow on the plane of manifest? Time.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are we? We are Allah's reflection in his creation, but we're bound by time in the creation. So, the reflection emerging in a clear, clean reflection is a process.
Mm-hmm.
See? We are in the process of fully manifesting Allah in his own creation.
Okay.
We are the means by which Allah sees himself inside his creation.
Exactly. That's deep.
Okay. Now, I want to follow that up with hark now, let every creature hear the plane of soul is but the ether of the spirit plane
Vibrating
vibrating
not so
not too
fast.
fast.
And in the
So,
slower rhythm, right?
right. So that's, I would say, a good segue.
Let's talk about it.
Mhm.
So we all have seen this before, especially if you're old school and you're from the projects, right? In the summertime, what was the air conditioner? The fan in the window.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And when you got that fan on a high, can you see the blades? No.
Nope.
But when you slow it down to medium, you can get a glimpse of the blades, can't you?
Right.
That's what we're talking about.
Got you.
It said in this slower rhythm, the essences of life are manifest, right?
Yeah.
The odors, the perfumes, the true sensations, and the all of love were manifest.
Now, how are we able to? I don't know if you know the science of how we're able to stand on this, stand in Earth while it's vibrating. The Earth is doing a few things. I guess I would say it's vibrating and it's rotating on its
Yes.
own axis
Yes.
around the sun,
Yes.
Yeah.
right? And then it also has other dimensions, so to speak,
You
spinning
could say
around.
that, yeah. Yeah. You
Like
could say that.
this, spinning in different directions. So
Right.
how are we able to maintain our balance? And we can't see everything spinning.
Well, you're talking about a couple things here, right? Like when you mention vibration, it's not just the earth. Everything vibrates.
Mm-hmm.
Everything vibrates. As a matter of fact, from the quantum physics perspective and from the perspective from which we're speaking of it, with a religious perspective, the differences between things are rate of vibration.
Yeah.
That's the difference. So
Mm-hmm.
anything that you can physically touch, taste, hear, see, smell, feel is vibrating
Vibrates.
within a certain framework of a vibratory rate, which makes it solid.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, it's a part of three dimensions. That includes our physical sun, the physical planets, the earth, and everything else that's physical. Now, things that are vibrating at a higher rate of vibration are beyond physicality.
Yeah. Can't be detected by the
Right.
eye,
Not with the
naked eye.
physical eye. Exactly.
No.
But it can be detected by the parts of us that are on the same plane of vibration that those things are on. That's why it says, chapter 11, which is a commentary on chapter 1, it says, these things are made of a substance far too fine for fleshy eyes to see, but still they constitute the soul of things. And with the eyes of soul, all creatures can see these planes. In other words, we have a part of ourselves at that vibratory rate as things on a higher plane. And that's how we can scientifically analyze the higher realms and non-physical realms. With the part of us that's a part of that as well.
Now, how would you slow the vibratory or speed it up to see these different planes?
So now we're talking what we would call sacred technology, stuff that was outlawed via the Spanish Inquisition and now are demonized in regular Western society. So we're talking about ways to raise the vibration of thought. See, there are many different ways. Some as simple as what's practiced in some of our churches where people catch the Holy Ghost. That is, when it's done genuinely, that is a heightened state of perception. It's an altered state of consciousness. You raise your consciousness to a higher tone. And in that higher tone, you can see things that you normally wouldn't see, hear things you normally wouldn't. You see where I'm going?
Tonality, as you mentioned,
right.
raising vibration with sound. And it's great. Have you said everything does vibrate? Even you can even bring an inanimate object into life.
Correct.
Certain sounds.
Correct. With certain sounds. That's right. Think about it. We're talking vibration here. So, right? And vibration is measured what? How? Mathematics, numbers. See what I'm saying? So you have audible vibration, which is what? Sound. Visible vibration, which is what? Light and color. See? Yeah. And then you have combinations of them. Anything that's harmonious, get it, is creative. Anything that's inharmonious is destructive. See?
Deep.
Yeah.
How about breathing techniques?
There you go. Breath is powerful. Why? Because it is the interface. Just like in the religious iconography in Christianity, you have God the Son, God the Father, God the Holy Ghost. Well, God the Father is almighty, eternal, and incomprehensible, beyond duality, beyond creation. God the Son is the presence of God the Father in his own creation. Well, what's the intermediary? The Holy Spirit or the Holy Breath. Why? Here, let's explain it real simple. We have non-physical parts of ourselves and physical parts of ourselves. Our feelings, our memories, those things are non-physical, but they're still very real. Then we have our physical, right? The breath is the interface between the non-physical part of you and the physical part of you.
Yeah.
See? That's why in Christian iconography, the Holy Spirit is visualized as a dove descending down onto the head.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. See? The breath is powerful for that reason. Because it connects the non-physical to the physical. And not just within your body, but okay. That's as far as I'll go with that. Mikey knows what I'm talking about.
Now, it's the, as they put, it's the breathing in your third eye.
Yes.
And it not literally, it's the, as they say, pineal gland, but it's really opening it up, this, getting deep within yourself. And, that's where they're getting caught up in that theurgy practice and stuff like that.
Theurgy. That's right.
Yeah.
That is correct.
That's pretty deep. Yeah.
That is correct. So, I mean, this is powerful stuff. You got, manipulation of the breath. We're talking about manipulation of frequency, manipulation of vibration. So we use the breath as a strategy to reach higher realms. We use it as a strategy to reach non-physical realities. We use it as a strategy to modulate our own. Yeah.
So Qigong is one breath, I would say, practice.
Yes.
And also from my art, my first art, which was Goju.
Yes.
American Goju.
Yeah.
We have breathing katas.
Yes.
Now these breathing katas, I used to laugh at when I was younger because I just wanted to bang. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But as I got older, as I'm looking at the movements from learning different things, from training, from like weight training to like diaphragmatic breathing, and from the fitness industry, I realized how important those breathing katas are, in the purpose of the diaphragmatic breathing and it bringing more oxygen to the brain and bringing the heart rate down,
Yeah.
calming the body. It kind of slows everything down.
Correct. Correct. Correct.
So those breathing katas are extremely important. But
Extremely
what
important.
other what other form of breathing art do you know of?
Oh, there's many. But again, there's many, there's many, just like there's many different methods of stick fighting, many different methods of knife fighting. But the key thing is that you got a stick or you got a knife, right?
Yeah.
So you've got the pranic methods that the Hindus practice. You've got,
Prana.
there's so many different ones. Listen. Prayer is a method of breath technology.
It is.
If it's
It
done
is.
right, and you do, here's an example. Brother Ron, you're a martial artist. I'm sure you've experienced, let's say you practice Kali, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have you experienced Kali practitioners that just had the skin and hair of Kali? They just kind of moved like it, but they didn't really have the meat and the bones and the substance of Kali?
Yeah.
Okay. So sadly, that's what we have with most religious systems to this day, especially when it comes to prayer.
Exactly.
Yeah, we would call
Hey,
that
more. That is so funny you say that,
yes.
because I like this podcast is all about the basics.
Yes.
Mhm.
It's all about the basics of all the teachings.
Right.
And one of the inspirations I got was from martial arts,
Yes.
because I remember doing kung fu some years back.
Yes.
Sifu Rick Moreno, right? Of course, I've done martial arts before I did kung fu.
Yeah.
Long story short, I'm sparring, right?
Yeah.
And he said, "Why don't you use this move?" And I'm like, I know this. I know karate more than I know kung fu, so I'm gonna use this move because this move is working.
Yes.
He said, "Trust the basics of this move, and I guarantee you'll get this guy."
Yeah.
I kept doing. I was getting the guy, but I was going. It was taking me longer, and it was taking more energy out of me.
Yes.
And then he said, "Just do it like this." And I trusted the basic move. And I got the dude.
Just like
that. So even with martial arts, the basic meat and potatoes.
That's it, brother. That's it.
That's the foundation.
Yes.
That you build on.
Yes.
From there. And I think that all schools of thought and religions have forgotten the basics, the core basics of it all.
Hit it right on the nose, bro.
The foundation is everything, man. That's true.
They have in the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Symbol of America, it's called an empty car of Krishna. It's called an altar with no altar fire.
Mm-hmm.
See? That's what it's called. It's just an empty shell. You see what I'm saying? Who would have thought that prayer work is qigong?
Yeah, they don't know.
Yeah,
I wanted to add to that too, Reef. As you mentioned, as Ron, the foundation is so important, because I tend to tell brothers that the highest degree in masonry is the apprentice, believe it or not, because you're forever apprentice.
Forever an apprentice, bro. That's right.
There's a lot of things you can do with that right there.
Yeah.
Just on that level. Because once you have the foundation, everything else is beautiful to have on, to add on. But that right there, that's the highest. That's the highest right there.
Now, I'm gonna add on to that, and then we can move on.
Yeah.
In Kali,
yes,
there's 64 attacks, right? But how many do people really use the most?
Come on, bro.
2.
Cut
1, cut 2.
Cut 2. Yep. Give me a 1 and a 2. That's it.
That's it.
That's right.
They might throw something else in there, like a flare, and then come back down. But 1 and 2, that's how I'm coming in.
Don't they?
Huh?
1 and 2 do the job, don't they?
1 and 2 does the job.
Yeah. Like you said, you might throw Abanico in. You might throw Redondo in there, but nah.
Yep.
1 and 2, that's it. That's all you need. Yeah.
1, 2, I move in.
Yep.
I take the head, whatever the arm.
Yep.
That's it. It's over with. That's all you need.
It's over. Right. So it's the same thing. But again, these are things, remember, the devil, however you want to see the devil, right? Or the devil always fights a rear guard action when it comes to truth. If there's no truth on board, you ain't gave the devil nothing to do. The devil's there to oppose truth. So the Quran in Mecca says it this way. It says there was no argument until after truth came. See? So there's got to be truth on the scene to give the devil some work. So the mere fact
that now as a weakness inside yourself.
Well, of course it is. The weakness always, bro. You again, being a fitness trainer, being a martial artist, you already know that success is always on the other side of struggle. But what are we trained to do? Look for ease and comfort. So we run from the struggle, which means we run from success.
Exactly. Say it again. That's so true.
You know what I'm saying? We run from success because success is on the other side of struggle. We don't want the struggle, so we try to avoid the struggle. We avoid our own improvement. Right? Yeah, we avoid our own improvement. So the devil fights a rear guard action. You know, oh, prayer is qigong. Well, wait a minute. I don't want people to think. I don't want people to advance. So I find a way to get them to forget the fact that prayer is breath work.
Now, I want to go back to what you just said, but someone says breathing because it helps move the energy. They're asking
If you're doing it right. If you're doing it right.
If you're doing it right. Now, can you
you caught that? Most people are not breathing right. If you want to learn how to breathe right, look at toddlers and infants.
Yeah.
You want to learn how to breathe right, take singing lessons. Remember, a while back, brother, we did the show on Qigong, right?
Right.
And we actually talked about it. Most people are chest breathers, adults, that is. So they're breathing like this. Absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible. Your lungs aren't sitting in your body this way. They're sitting this way.
Yeah.
And they're sitting on top of the diaphragm. And the purpose of the diaphragm is to facilitate breathing, inhaling, and exhaling. Well, how does it do that? On the inhale, the diaphragm is to drop. So it pulls air into the bottom of the lung first, not the top.
So you got to breathe from
the chest should not raise. The abdomen should expand on the inhale.
That's true.
Now, can you give me an example of breathing in through prayer?
Sure. Remember, what are we talking about here? What is the purpose? We want to raise our vibration. We want to raise our vibration. And every sound is what? Vibration.
Frequency.
Exactly, frequency. So the prayer itself should, just by saying it, raise your vibration. But so in that respect, that's just like taking medicine. I don't got to believe in it for it to, if it's real medicine, I don't got to believe in it for it to work. All I got to do is take it. See that? But it definitely helps if my intent is there in the process. So if I put 5 fingers on the left and 2 on the right and say, Allah, the Father of the universe, but I'm saying it fully cognizant of what these words are. Words themselves already carry vibration. See?
Exactly.
And that prayer is not asking for nothing. It's affirming I already have. It's an affirmation.
Tonality.
Yes. But when you look at it from that perspective, here, let's do this experiment really quick. And I don't know if we did this on that Qigong show, but let's do this. I want Brother Mikey, you and Brother Ron, wherever you are, put your palms, like sit down with your palms up. All right. Okay. What I'm explaining to you now is something that we, in the East, especially in China, we call complete learning. Complete learning. This is also practiced by our Muslim brothers in West Africa who practice Islam in West Africa. They call it embodied knowledge. It goes beyond intellectual. So what? You can wrap your head around it. We need it in our flesh. That being said, the vibration of my words, if you're paying attention, you can feel on your palms right now, can't you? You feel it?
Yeah, like wind blowing.
Yes.
Like
Guess what that means? That means your flesh, by way of your hands, is receiving the vibration of what it is I'm saying. It's getting in there.
That's peace.
That's complete learning.
You know, so there's a practice I do as well, Reef, before like praying or meditating. I always take three deep breaths.
Yes.
But I hold the last one before I exhale.
I like that.
You know?
I like that.
And then I
like
go
with
into
us in our system, holding the breath is like clenching a muscle. It's tonifying. You're concentrating something.
Mm-hmm.
See? So inhaling is yin, but it makes our mind and body more yang. It wakes us up. So if you inhale and then hold the breath at the top of the inhale, you are tonifying yang. You are making the energetic thing stronger. That's why people naturally do when they're picking up something heavy. They inhale and hold their breath really quick. And see?
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's done that way.
Yeah, in my world, it's called the Valsalva maneuver.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
When you hold your breath to lift something.
Yes.
Yeah. You use that lift to you use that breath to really focus on pulling or pushing that weight. So I get what you're saying.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
But so
now
we're talking now. Think about what we're talking about right now. We're talking about manipulation of the breath, something that most people, the vast majority of people, take for granted. See? So just the fact that we're talking about this, we're actually talking about functional spirituality. Because we're talking about the interface between the physical body and the non-physical self. And so by manipulating the breath, we affect both.
Mm-hmm.
This is powerful. Why? Because again, one of the main things that Rome, European Rome, sought to suppress was this very thing. The proof is in modern day Christianity as we know it today. God the Father, God the Son. But what's God the Holy Ghost? Oh, it's a mystery. We don't see. Nobody wants to talk about that.
Yeah.
See that?
Mm-hmm. So the Holy Spirit, you're saying, is the breath.
Holy breath.
It's holy breath.
It's not just breathing. Let's say that too. It's not just breathing. Because if that was the case, we'd all be gurus, wouldn't we? Because we all breathe.
Mm-hmm.
Your pet dog would be a guru. It breathes too. See what I'm saying? So we're not going to belittle it by saying, oh, all breath means is breath comes from the Latin word spiritus and spiritus.
Mm-hmm.
No, we're not doing that. It's a little bit more than that, people. It's a little bit more than that.
Right. So now the reason why we discussed breath is to pretty much try and slow down the vibration so that we could experience greater experiences on this physical plane.
Okay, there you go. So the breath, regular breath, we won't say breath and holy breath are one and the same. They are not. Regular breathing we use as a strategy to access our body's energy system. That's holy breath.
Mm-hmm.
See?
Okay. Now you saying that is taking me all over the Quran and the Quran and the 101.
Yes.
So what was the prophet's instruction to develop the holy breath? Is it any kind of instructions in here, or did he just point to places like he said we respect, or what did we say?
We honor all true and divine prophets.
We honor all true and divine prophets.
Here it is. That's a great question, brother. And let's go back to a martial arts perspective. And brother Mikey, we're going to go to another person. I want to use an example from your field of experience as well. Let's take martial arts perspective, right? Actually, let's take a fitness perspective, brother Ron. When you're training somebody to do a particular exercise, right?
Mm-hmm.
You give them the proper technique, right?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't initially give them the purpose for the proper technique or the full benefit explanation of the benefit of the exercise.
You can't give them the full benefit in the beginning because there's so many benefits to each exercise.
You hear what you just said, dear brother?
Yeah.
But are they getting that benefit even though you're not telling it to them specifically?
Yes,
Yes.
of course.
Okay. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water.
Mm-hmm.
How about that? See?
For him to mention that, Do you understand to me how deep that is? Like,
That's very that means a lot. That ties everything back. If you go into like the studies of the Isis order and all that, that means your heart should be light as a feather as well.
You
You should
got
not
it,
swim.
brother.
Yeah,
You got it. It
yeah,
implies all the things that we just talked about, but it's so simple. All you gotta do is just follow the instruction.
yeah. It all ties you back to
Yeah.
divinity. Even so, is it safe to say that Noble Drew Ali also practiced the sciences of the sins?
Yeah.
That's what
Would,
it
would,
sounds
would,
like.
would I say that he was specifically a member of an ascendant community? No. But you know
Yeah.
what? I could have a car from Bangladesh. You could have a car from Korea. We both got a car.
yeah.
Yeah,
See, it's the
definitely.
same principles. Get it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now back to the prophet. He pointing to, did he point, because he said we honor all divine prophets, and then he
Yes.
mentioned Buddha,
Jesus,
Confucius,
Muhammad, Buddha, and Confucius. That's right.
Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, and Confucius. Now,
Yes.
I spoke about this like podcast before. Um, now Jesus. Now, if we talk about Jesus
Mm-hmm.
and his example,
Yes.
Jesus' example, what he did to develop himself was
Right.
he isolated himself
Right.
for 40 days and fasted for 40 days and for 40 nights.
Correct. Correct.
Mhm.
And then when you go to Buddhist or Buddha,
Mm-hmm.
Buddha deals with meditation and a plethora of other things.
Yes.
Buddha, Jesus, Confucius. Confucius, I think you broke down Confucianism before.
Social structure. If you read chapter 30, the Holy Quran and the Moorish Science Symbol of America, you're reading about Confucius's principles and what the major things he contributed to Chinese civilization.
Mm.
Are we practicing Confucianism? No. But are we practicing principles that are analogous directly to what Prophet Confucius taught? Absolutely.
Now, I want to rewind.
Yes.
When he talks about the lifetime of Jesus
Yes.
and where did he go?
Yeah.
Where did he go? He went to India.
Yes, he did.
Yep.
Now, what was he doing in India though? Why did the prophet mention India? Why did he point in that
because
direction?
he had learned, because he studied and taught there. That's why.
A lot of sciences over
He
there.
studied there and he taught there. Yeah.
Which takes me back to breathing.
Yes.
Even as we said, the iconography, his hand symbols as they depict him to look
Absolutely.
with the hand gestures and
Mudras, right?
yeah, the mudras, and also the thing about, as Ron said, the 40 days and 40 nights, the isolation, seclusion,
Yes.
also abstaining from sexual
Yes.
contact.
Yes. All of
Turning
these things.
turning
All
water
of
into
these
wine.
things are directly implied, but to Brother Ron's point and to Brother Mikey's point,
Mhm.
remember, this is the age of Aquarius, but not the age of laziness. People think, oh, it's the age of Aquarius, it's the age of I know. They think that all of a sudden you're going to wake up one morning with everything. That's not how
No.
it works.
Mm-mm.
You got to go and dig. The age of Pisces was the age of where, listen, if nobody wanted you to get it, you just wouldn't get it no matter what you did.
Yep.
The age of Aquarius is, oh, you can get it, but you better work. You better dig deep. See, people don't want to dig deep. So you know what that means? The door isn't open. They never knocked.
Mhm.
They never knocked because they're not digging deep enough. So you're digging deep, Brother Ron, and asking the questions you're asking. Okay, well, we don't necessarily see any meditative procedures or techniques or instructions from Prophet Noble Drew Ali, but we do have an instruction, or we do have a mention of being granted the powers of meditation in our literature.
Mhm.
So now if you're told that you have that power, now you have the responsibility to develop it.
Exactly. Exactly.
See?
So now, to take it back to breathing,
Yes.
Jesus, travel, breathing techniques.
Mm-hmm.
I want to now go into time.
Yeah.
Now we have in the Nation of Islam and in the 5% Nation, the Asiatic calendar is mentioned, and we were talking about the Gregorian calendar.
Yes.
and how the Gregorian calendar is tied to Catholicism.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And I was saying that Catholicism and the Gregorian calendar keeps us trapped in the time and controlled by the time that we live in right now.
Could be. Could be.
Mhm.
And there's not. Now here's the thing. Um, could be. And this is why I say that. Right. You work with a stopwatch when you're working with clients, possibly. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. That keeps a different type of time.
Mhm.
So time, if we say time never was when man was not, that's one of the first instructions we're given by Prophet Jali. Time never was when man was not. If this is the case, that means time is a tool we can use. And it works that way today. Farmers, when they farm or when they plant and sow and reap crops, are they going by the Gregorian calendar? No.
Almanac.
They're going. There you go. They're going by the lunar calendar.
Right,
13
right.
months. 13 months with 28-day months.
Mhm.
So they
Exactly.
don't trip over that. Get it? They understand that they can use different calendars for different purposes. We should be no different.
Mhm.
That's deep.
See, here's the one thing about the Gregorian calendar that's useful. It gives us the time and what must be done. We are living in another civilization. We are living under the European psychology. So we want to know where we are in that, but we also want to know where we are in ours too.
Mm-hmm.
That's the power of the Asiatic calendar in that respect.
So what do you know about the Asiatic calendar?
Here we go. Right? In that one lesson, who made Holy Quran a Bible? How long ago? And you tell us, why does Islam renew its history every 25,000 years?
25,000 years.
Right. In the More Science of America, we say it this way. We measure time by cycle ages and negate to every age redeem a milestone in the journey of the race. Well, what is this cycle thing we're talking about? And what is this whole thing about being able to write history in advance? What are we talking about here? Okay. What we're talking about is the precession of the equinoxes. That's
You know what? I'm done.
The planet rotates, but its pole wobbles, and it draws a circle through 12 constellations. Each of those constellations 12, and it makes a full circle through all 12 every 25,920 years.
Yeah. Each day a degree
You
by
divide
each
that
day.
into 12, and you have an age. What is an age in this case? 2,160 years.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yep. I see where you go. That's a fact, Reese. I see where you took it. Damn, bro. Well,
So how does the Asiatic calendar count?
25,000 years, 25,000 year cycle. The calendar that you're speaking of is 25,000 year cycle. To be, it's about 25,000. To be accurate, it's 25,920. Yep. And so what does that do? Think about it. The Gregorian calendar, now remember, 12, 30 days. Let's just be clear.
Wait, hold on, because you know what? In the second degree in the 1 of 14,
yes,
it says in the Asiatic calendar, it was in the year 11,000.
11,000.
So
9,980 days or years from the date of this writing, right?
now you're talking about.
Oh no, that's something else.
That's the first degree. That's the first degree in the 140.
Yeah.
So I'm talking about the Asiatic calendar. But
right.
yeah, I think the Asiatic calendar is different.
So here we go. 11,000. But what's the full range? 25,000, right?
Okay.
So that was early part of that cycle. 11,000. See?
Okay.
That was the early part of that cycle. So again, remember, that's another thing. Let me go back to say this. The cycle of 12 months and 30-day months is not Gregorian. The Gregorian calendar took that or appropriated or borrowed that.
Yeah.
Gregorian calendar, we're talking about Roman Catholicism, makes day one 6,000 years ago, 4004 BC.
Okay.
That's different. See, that's Gregorian, bro.
It's actually 28 days. It's supposed to be 20 go by with the moon
Right.
cycle. Yeah.
Right. See,
Okay.
but you get it.
Yeah.
So that's Gregorian. The whole 12-month cycle is the solar calendar cycle. That's way older than the whole Gregorian demonstration.
Mm-hmm.
Way older. But again, in the totality of what we're talking about, time is an object. I can shape and mold the object, which means what? I can change time
They do that every year.
all the time.
Daylight
All the
savings.
time. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So the fact that you have an alternative time scale is a tool that you use to change and alter and expand your consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
If the Gregorian calendar says the world is only 6,000 years old, get it? But your calendar says that the world has no beginning or ending. Why? Because we measure time in cycles. There is no beginning. What does that do for your okay, see?
Mm-hmm.
We're not the man against time.
As one of the gods would say all the time, like a supreme ruler, off the clock. He build off the clock.
Right.
So you know, we're not on the clock.
Right.
Psychologically.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So now to take it back to time, even though we're kind of wrapping up this time
yes
series. Man cannot die. The spirit of man is one with the law, and while the law lives, man cannot die.
Right. That forces us to see ourselves different. It forces us outside of our flesh. We acknowledge our flesh. We're in flesh, just like we acknowledge our clothes. But we don't think we are our clothes, do we?
No.
Yeah. We do not believe that we are our clothes. But sadly, in the fallen state of humanity, we believe that we're our clothes. See? That's the problem. So all of this work, among other things, is to shift our consciousness, or at least a part of it, outside of time. See what I'm saying? We don't think about having a funeral when we take our clothes off at night and take a shower and go to bed. We don't say congratulations and give each other hugs and give each other cigars when we wake up in the morning and put on a new set of clothes either, do we?
No.
What if we could think of our flesh in the same way? That means an incarnation is a single day.
Exactly.
And what if we could think like that to the where many of us make plans for the following day? Okay, what am I going to do tomorrow? Here's my schedule. What I'm going to do tomorrow. What if you see where I'm going?
Yeah.
The work we do today is what? Planning what we're going to be wearing and the conditions we're going to be in tomorrow.
Exactly.
The next life, the next incarnation.
Nobody has control of that.
Physical flesh does not mean death. It does not constitute death any more than us taking off our clothes and going to sleep means death. See? We have to, so to say, while Allah lives, man cannot die, it forces us to redefine what death is.
Yeah. Wow.
I noticed when I mentioned Nil Bay, you said he is a good brother as opposed
that,
to
right?
Yeah.
I'm glad you caught that.
Now, why'd you say that like that?
For the exact same reason that you just said what you said and brought that up. Because he ain't gone nowhere. He's just outside of his physical flesh. We have to start think. This is practical. We have to start to think and act and live this.
Exactly.
In certain schools of thought, like the Rosicrucian school, they would say he graduated.
Yo, I'm about to say that, Reef. It's funny. I've been saying that since I was a kid.
Yeah.
Call it graduation.
You celebrated graduation.
Yo, Reef, I want to say something. Add on to that. I remember I was in a crazy car wreck. This is in 2010. My car flipped over 6 times on the highway.
Woo!
I only walked out with a scratched finger, but as it was happening, I said, "Nah, I'm not going out like this.
Right.
It's not the way it's gonna happen."
Right.
And I don't. It still trips me out because long story short, a coworker found me. They said I climbed out the car and they saw me running on the side on the highway, and I collapsed after. But because adrenaline and everything else.
Yeah.
But I remember as the car was flipping, I was like, "Nah, it's not going out like this. Not like this."
That's
You know what I'm
crazy.
saying?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I know of people that have had similar experiences, and in retrospect, they were like, that was indicative of an outer body experience. Like they at that point were in a sense kind of outside of the condition, observing the condition.
Man.
And then made the decision. Like, as if they had the choice.
That's
and chose come on, bro.
Yeah.
Which I'm glad you brought that up, because that would be an indication that human beings, we have a consciousness that we don't tap into until we're in danger, or we're trying to save ourselves,
Brother
or what
Ron,
have you.
Brother Ron, you deal with this in your profession. We've used this analogy before, where you're working with a client and you're getting more out of him than he realizes is in him.
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to get 25 push-ups out of him. He got to 23. I need 2 more. He's spent. He's physically, he's smoked. He can't give you 2 more physically. Mm-hmm. But you lean on him and he finds another source of strength and power, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah.
But you have to get to the point of physical exhaustion before you reach the spiritual power, bro.
I'm going to tell you this. This is a story real quick. Yeah. I was in Queens one time. A dude, I was getting ready to scrap up with a dude.
Yeah.
And, what, my friend thought he had a gun. Matter of fact, he had a gun, right? And he goes, he got a gat. When he said he got a gat, we all started bolting.
Woo.
I scaled the fence.
Yeah.
Damn.
Super high. Like, I could never, ever do that.
Right.
So it's like conscious, subconsciously, or the inner powers that we have, we don't utilize. What they say we use about 5 to 10% of our own brain.
Yeah.
And do you think that breathing can help tap into that?
Of course. Absolutely. But again, it's not just as simple as breathing, right? As you know, there's whole schools dedicated just to the science of manipulating breath and using the breath to manipulate the body's energy and to unlock certain latent capacities.
Yep.
There's whole schools of that, which means what? If you know about it, you better be a part of it if you're saying it's a part of what you do. Because if not, you're just a block of wood pointing away.
Mm-hmm.
See?
You're right about that.
Yeah. And here's the other part. If we know, see what you've experienced, what Brother Mikey experienced, what I've experienced, in extreme situations, all of a sudden the spiritual power kicks on. Well, why we got to wait for it to get that bad?
Right. Mm-hmm.
There's this yogi.
Mm-hmm.
My uncle gave me his book. I don't know if you can see him. If you're familiar with this yogi who slowed his breath, his breathing down.
Yes.
Yo, bro, I was thinking that when we started this. Are you kidding me? Hold on. And that's how he died that way, right? Like he
stopped his
stopped his own breathing.
Yeah. You go into voluntary suspended animation. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
There's a European by the name of Baird Spalding. He was a Catholic missionary in India when British occupied India. Right? Turn of the century. He was going there to save these poor Native American, or not Native American, sorry, Indian souls with Christianity. And he was telling the story of Jesus, how he was buried on the 3rd day, rose again. They were like, oh, that's a great story. Interesting. Here, let me show you guys something. They took Baird Spalding over to, they took him to a plot of land, right, that looked like a grave. And they dug up this yogi and threw water on him, and he got up and walked away. He said, man.
They know what time it is.
Yeah.
It's deep. It's a lot to it. Like, you know, as you said, Reef, with the breathing, that's just the crust of it. It goes so
Yes.
much deeper.
But how do we breathe? How do we focus on these deeper sciences when we have to be on the hamster wheel?
Yeah.
Now we have to make time. So, okay, I'm glad you said that. So, like, one of the genius things about Prophet Muhammad 1400 years ago was this: the methodology, the spiritual methodology he gave the people he was sent to was one that was designed to give people aesthetic level ability while still living within society. They didn't have to go out and be aesthetics out in the mountains or somewhere. See? The methodology he gave them for that time period and those people was a method that could get them monk level skills without having to go be a monk. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So ours are similar. We just don't believe them, bro.
Mm-mm.
I'm talking about the Moorish Science Temple of America. And I'm going to be critical about the Moorish Science Temple of America, our members, not the organization, many of our members. A lot of us don't believe. We have that Holy Quran in the Moorish Science Temple of America, and we don't think it's enough. It's because we don't understand how to read it. It's not a book of information per se. It's a book of psychology. It's not so much as a book of what to think about or what to know. It's a book of how to think about whatever it is you know.
Exactly.
So if it points to meditation, what should you be doing?
Meditating.
If it points to Jesus studying for 13 years okay, see?
Yep.
If it points to Jesus studying for 5 years at Heliop, come on.
Get to it.
Yeah, get busy.
And a lot of them don't know, like, the timing is not actually
Right.
if the timing is, it can't be, as you said, it can't be measured by man. It's allegorical,
Yes.
and you just gotta
Yes.
look deep into it. As Bruce Lee say, I don't punch my target. I go through it. You have to
There you
really
go.
go through it. Yeah.
He talked about being natural. He says, when it expands, I contract. When it contracts, I expand.
Mhm.
And when it's time to hit, I don't hit. It hits all by itself.
Yeah.
You know? So it's, you know.
And you know how he got like that? By
Mm-hmm.
training. That's all Bruce Lee did was
You hit it
train.
right on the nose, bro. So I was just about to say that, Brother Ron.
Mhm.
Repetition and ritual. Repetition and ritual. Repetition and ritual. Most of us, many of us, I'm not just talking about the Moorish Science Temple of America. I'm talking about everybody. We don't practice enough, bro.
That's true.
We don't practice enough. Brother Ron, you know, if you do a certain exercise a certain amount of times, there's something that's going to come out of that you're not going to get from the instructor.
Right.
Am I right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
This is the same thing, bro. It's the same thing, Brother Mike. You know exactly what I'm talking about. A lot of the so-called secrets in so-called secrets aren't secrets because people can't tell you or don't tell you. They're secrets because they can't tell you. It's impossible. You gotta do it
You have
to
to
know what
experience it.
happens.
Yeah.
If you don't do it, you'll never know.
You never
Right.
know. Because and that's why
That's why you always get criticism from people on the outside.
Yeah,
And that's
because
why
I
the
can't.
true people, when they hear the criticism, laugh at them and keep it moving.
Yeah, because you would not know. I could say one thing. I could tell people, and again, I'm not no oracle, I'm no guru, but I know that when you really into your meditation or spiritual practice, certain parts of your body begin to feel either heavy or feel light. You don't know. You can't describe it.
Brother, you're 100% correct.
Yeah,
But again, the knowing is in the doing. If you don't do it, you won't know.
you won't know it.
And here
People
I
think
am, a
that secrets
dumbass,
is
trying to
something that you can
explain
be
to people.
told. Say it
Yeah.
again, Brother Ron?
Yeah, and I said, here I am trying to explain, like, because I'm studying a lot right now. You know what I'm
Of
saying?
course.
And it has me clear in my
Yeah.
mind. That's all I can say. Like my mother, I was talking to my mother today. She's like, "I'm on the phone with you. You don't have nothing to talk about." I'm like, I don't have anything to talk about. It's like because all my questions are answered in my mind.
Right.
Only thing I have to do is I'm already doing the knowledge. Now I got to do the wisdom.
There you hit it right on the nose. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. It's like, okay, now I got to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's nothing for me I can't explain how I'm feeling, but just say I'm just clear.
My leadership, the Grand Sheik and moderator of the Moorish Science Simple America Incorporated with R. Jones Bay. Years ago, he and I were having a conversation, and I said something to him, and he was just like, yeah, it was at that time just my perspective. And he said, brother, that is the secret as it relates to the Moorish Science Symbol of America.
Cut off a second.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I hear you now. Yeah, I hear you now.
All right. So what I said to him was this. I said, on page 3 of the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Symbol of America, it says these secret lessons. But everywhere else, it says the divine instructions. Mm-hmm. I said, so guess what? The lessons are not the words in the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Symbol of America, per se. The Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Symbol of America is giving you instructions. When you follow the instructions, the result you get in your life by applying the instruction is the lesson. And that's why they're secret.
Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding.
Straight like that. That's right. That's it. Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Most people will read the instructions and never do the instructions.
Never.
But will say they know. But that's like me telling you I know what a peach cobbler tastes like because I ate the recipe.
It doesn't work like that.
Right.
Put it in practice. Some people don't do that.
Yeah, I never made the peach cobbler. I read all about how to do it though.
And that's the issue out there, as you mentioned, Reef. People just want the quick fix. They think if I just put all this together, it's a science to it. Everything you do on a daily basis is a ritual. It's a science to it. Why are you doing it?
Right.
You know, what? You know how many people, if we look at it in a percentage wise, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to worry about those who are not going to put the work in because they're only 5% out of 100 anyway.
Come on, brother.
Here we go. Go ahead, Rod.
Bro.
That's 85.
That is just psychology. It's a part of sociology.
Right.
That's how it works.
That's how it is. That's just what it is.
Nah, it's true. It's true.
That's why the prophet is reported to have said this to the members at one point. What are all y'all doing here? There's only going to be a few saved. I can count them on one hand and that finger's left. Yeah.
That's deep, brother. That's so deep, man.
Right.
That's deep.
Indeed. Indeed. So I want to wrap this up. This is Time Never Was When Man Was Not. Yeah. I think this would close out that series right there.
No doubt.
Definitely. You gotta take it to the next level, man.
Next level. I already got the next level. It starts in chapter 2.
Woo!
Peace to everybody in the chat. Thank y'all for showing up this evening. We really appreciate y'all.
Comment, share, like, subscribe. Hit the subscription button. It doesn't hurt. Follow Sharif Bey. This brother's doing a great job with the Moorish Science Symbol of America. Very informative, brother. Very intellectual.
Thank you, brother.
Indeed. And peace.
Yeah.